Hi, I'm Larry Beal, and you're watching ESPN Classic Mile High Stadium. Since 1961, when Denver was a part of the Western League, fans in that city had been waiting to become a part of Big League Baseball. On April the 9th, 1993, citizens of the Mile High City were rewarded as the Colorado Rockies played their first home game. And before a whopping 80,227 fans, a new National League regular season record, the Rockies unleashed 18 hits, including first-inning home runs from Eric Young and Charlie Hayes in an 11-4 rout over the Expos. The attendance mark also set a record for a home opener, shattering the mark that the Dodgers set in their West Coast debut at the LA Coliseum back in 1958. At 7 Eastern Time, up-close classics with John Elway. But now, it's the Expos and the Rockies from 1993, here on ESPN Classic.
Rocky Mountain baseball fans have been waiting more than 30 years for this day. Opening day for Major League Baseball in Mile High Stadium. It's a glorious day for baseball here in Denver. Blue skies, 71 degrees, and a slight breeze. Hi, everybody. This is Charlie Jones and Dwayne Kuiper, and that one moment in time that every baseball fan has been waiting for is finally here.
Boy, what a grand day. You know, you look around this ballpark, and there's going to be 82,000 people. And they're ready for baseball. Let's face it, they've waited a long time, and they're particularly ready for this game. And the weather couldn't have cooperated anymore. And again, it's just a great day in the history of this franchise.
And the traffic jam actually started about 3 hours ago. A problem getting to the ballpark because everybody wants to be here today.
And I'm not so sure, Charlie, that the people that are usually involved in traffic jams usually get upset. I think this is a very mild-mannered traffic jam right now.
Yes, it is. Now, before every game, we have a little tradition. We talk with Don Baylor. We talked with him on Monday. He said he wanted the W. He wanted the win. He had intensity. We talked to him today. He has even more intensity today.
That's right. He said that we're better off right now. We want to win our first game, and we want to do it at home. And you know, it was a little different intensity. You could see that on Monday, he kind of just wanted to get the season started, get some of this stuff behind us. But I think he's feeling a little heat with a full ballpark today.
Remember Monday he said, we will now have a history. Well, they have the history. They're still looking for the win.
That's right. He's not happy with the history. Don't get us wrong. He's 0-2, and he wants to pick up the W today.
And when you looked him in the eye today, I mean, he had that Don Baylor look. He, of course, is ready. That means that the ball club will be ready. What about Bryn Smith, the starting pitcher?
Well, you know, Bryn Smith has never played in postseason play. He's had a very nice career. He said that this is his 7th game of the World Series, the Colorado Rockies home opener.
Stay with us. It's the home opener, the Montreal Expos and the Colorado Rockies.
You're watching ESPN Classic Mile High Stadium, a tribute to some of the venue's most exciting moments here on ESPN Classic.
Bryn Smith is on the mound. Mike Lansing will be the first batter. Here's the first pitch. And that ball will go into the Hall of Fame. Lansing, the second baseman. He takes the cut and is fouled away.
Charlie, it's important to point out that the last time Bryn Smith was on the mound, he got beat up pretty good at the Metrodome in Minneapolis. What he needs to do, and we mentioned it that day in Minnesota, he has to keep the ball down.
Strike call.
He throws a sinking fastball, a pound ball. And in his repertoire, it's so important that he throws strikes and keep the ball low.
Bounding ball to Eric Young. He throws him out. We've got one away. And now the Rocky Mountain News presents the starting lineup. The first visitors, the Expos, Lansing, and then Alou, Grissom, Bolick, Vanderwall, Cordero, Laker, Cianfranco, and the pitcher, Bottenfield. So with one down, top of the first inning, here's Moises Alou, the right fielder, hitting .357 already this year. Off to a good start. And the pitch is in the dirt. Moises, of course, is the son of the manager, Felipe Alou. He was born on July the 3rd, 1966 in Atlanta. Here's the pitch. And it's his call strike, 1-1. His dad was playing for the Braves that day against the Giants. He went 0-3. His two other brothers, of course, they had hits that day, Jesus and Matty. Here's the offering. Almost took down Jerry Manuel in the coaching box at third. Jerry has to be nimble.
Now, Jerry's a former infielder, so he's used to line drives, but he's a lot more comfortable when he's got a glove on his hand.
1 ball, 2 strikes to count to Alou. Eric Young throws him out 2 away.
You're watching ESPN Classic, Mile High Stadium, a tribute to some of the venue's most exciting moments here on ESPN Classic.
Defensively for the Colorado Rockies, Gerald Clark, Alex Cole, and Dante Bichette from left to right in the outfield, with Charlie Hayes and Freddie Benavides on the left side of the infield, Eric Young and the big cat Andres Galarraga at first, and Joe Girardi is the catcher.
One thing about Bryn Smith, he beat the Expos twice last year. Those are his numbers from spring training. In lifetime against his former club, he is 5-1. So if you're looking for an edge, it may be that Smith has pitched well against this team.
And it is strike 1 to Marquise Grissom. Grissom, the center fielder. He led the National League with stolen bases last year, and he has the base hit up the middle. So Grissom is aboard, and of course is a threat to go at any time. He had 78 stolen bases last year. He stole third 24 times.
Now we talk about young players and how you look for new young people to make impacts in the major league, and Marquise Grissom is one of those guys that is going to be an impact player. He can hit the ball out of the park, he can run, he can just about do it all.
And the batter is Frank Bolick, the third baseman. Grissom edging off of first.
Now it's up to Bryn Smith to give Joe Girardi a shot at throwing Marquise Grissom out, because with Larry Walker out of the lineup, I think that Felipe Alou is going to have his ball club run as much as he can. Now, they're a running club even when Walker is in the lineup, but even more so, they need to take advantage of the fact that they've got good team speed.
Bolick already with a couple of RBIs this year. And the pitch to the plate is a call strike. Bolick, a switch hitter. He's a rookie. Spent 6 years in the minors. 26 years old. Had 27 home runs last year in AA and AAA ball. Throw to first. And Grissom is back.
Well, you have that type of season in the minor leagues, and you should get a good look at making the club next year. Next year, of course, for Bolick is this year, and he did make the club, and he's hitting cleanup.
Swing and a miss. 0-2 the count to Bolick. 2 away, top of the first inning. Grissom aboard with the base hit. The pitch out, and he was not going. An 0-2 pitch out. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count to Bolick. slugging percentage was .520 in the minors last year. And he does have that power that Dwayne was talking about.
And one of Bryn Smith's best pitches is the pound ball, like a changeup. If you throw that on the inside part of the plate, a guy like Bullock's going to pull it in the hole.
Base hit into right field, and Grissom will head for third. So back-to-back singles, Grissom and Bullock. And the Expos now with runners on the corners. And the hitter will be the left fielder, John Vanderwall, who has 4 hits in 7 at-bats this year. That's an early average of .571. So he starts the season with a hot streak.
Now Girardi out in front of the plate explaining to Bryn Smith, you got 2 outs. Also letting everyone know if Bullock decides to steal second, he has to let the infielders know where Girardi is going to throw the ball.
Here's the pitch, and it is inside to Vanderwall.
Have a number of different options. If that base runner goes, Girardi can fake to second and go to third, hoping to get Grissom off the bag. You can throw through to try to get the runner at second. Then you risk Grissom scoring from third. Or you can throw through just with the intention to just throwing down there. And having that infielder just catch the ball and watch the guy at third.
2-0 the count to John Vanderwall. Grissom at third, and Bullock is the runner at first. Eric Young, and he throws it out. We're in the middle of the first inning, and we have no score. We'll be back in just a moment.
You're watching ESPN Classic, Mile High Stadium, a tribute to some of the venue's most exciting moments here on ESPN Classic.
Finally, the home team. Eric Young to lead it off, followed by Alex Cole, Dante Bichette, Andre Scalaraga, the first baseman, Charlie Hayes at third, Gerald Clark in left, Joe Girardi the catcher, Freddie Benavides is the shortstop, and Bryn Smith is the pitcher. Defensively, Vanderwall, Grissom, and Alou in the outfield, left to right. Bullock and Cadero left side of the infield. Lansing and Cianfrocco on the right side, and Tim Laker is the catcher. Kent Bottenfield is on the mound.
Control pitcher Bottenfield. Those are his numbers this spring. He is 0-1.
And it's ball 1.
Charlie, he throws a fastball, slider, curveball, changeup. He keeps the ball down. He likes to get in front of the hitters, and he generally keeps the ball in the ballpark.
And he comes high and is 2-0.
Now, one thing that we should mention, you got a veteran pitcher pitching for the Rockies and a rookie for the Montreal Expos. And it's possible that this kid has some jitters, although he has paid his dues in the minor leagues. So he feels like obviously he is ready.
6'3", 225 pounds. He comes high again, and the count is 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike the count to Eric Young, who is leading it off in the bottom of the first inning for the Colorado Rockies. We have no score in the ball game. Strike call, full count. A very pleasant afternoon, albeit clouding over just a bit. And the 3-2 pitch. Fly ball deep left field. It is mile high and out of here. crowd. The hitter is Alex Cole. The Rockies lead the Expos 1-0. The solo shot heard around the Rockies.
Well, I said he generally keeps the ball in the ballpark, but maybe not this one.
And the 2-0 pitch is high. 3-0 the count to Alex Cole.
You know, as an athlete, you always like to be able to pick your spots to do something tremendous.
Strike call.
And what a spot for Eric Young to hit a home run. The first hitter for the Rockies. Real mile high. Unbelievable.
And Alex Cole draws the one.
You're watching ESPN Classic Mile High Stadium, a tribute to some of the venue's most exciting moments here on ESPN Classic.
Right now, 80,000 family and friends for Eric Young.
Oh, what a tremendous, tremendous shot.
And speaking of tremendous shots, here's Dante Bichette, who had the solo home run in Shea Stadium. Runner is going. Here's the throw. Stolen base. So Alex Cole in scoring position, and the count at the plate, 1 ball and no strikes to Bichette.
Well, Alex Cole gets a pretty good jump. Not a bad throw by the young catcher Laker, but Alex Cole with a stolen base, and the Rockies are at it again.
He's going to steal third, and he's got it. Alex Cole, back-to-back stolen bases. The count at the plate, a ball and a strike.
If Laker would have had a good grip on this ball, he had a real good shot at throwing out Alex Cole.
And now, for the first time in the regular season, you're seeing Baylor ball at work. Here's the pitch. Foul ball.
I want to mention Don Zimmer is coaching third. Jerry Royster had a death in his family. He left and went to his hometown after the ball game at Shea Stadium. So Don Zimmer is now coaching third.
1 ball, 2 strikes. The count. Base hit. Another run is in. Rockies lead it 2-0. And Dante has his second RBI of the year.
Now, the one thing that Bichette does so well is he's strong enough to fight off anything inside. You see how that pitch was tailing in right on his hands? He got the bat head out and hit it hard enough to get it into the outfield for an RBI single.
And that will bring up the first baseman, Andres Galarraga. Nobody out. 2 runs are in. Eric Young opened the bottom of the first with a solo home run. Throw to first, and Bichette is back. And Dante is a threat to go because everybody is a threat to go. Galarraga hitting .286 early in the year. And this was fouled out of play for a souvenir.
Now, right now, Bottenfield, who has 36 days in the major leagues, is working just to try to get out of the first inning. And all of a sudden, things start to snowball, and you can't stop them.
Go to first. And Dante is back. 0-1 the count to Andres Galarraga. Eric Young electrifying the crowd with that solo leadoff home run. Here goes Bichette, and he's got the stolen base. So already in the bottom of the first inning, 3 stolen bases. Cole got 2, and Bichette got 1.
And Philippe Alou coming out. Bichette actually broke before Bottenfield went to home plate. Had Bottenfield stepped off, Bichette obviously would have been a dead duck. But he never took a peek, and that's what Philippe Alou is telling him. He's actually giving him a pretty good earful. You know, sometimes you go out there and you talk to those pitchers, and you're kind, and you want to make them feel good. That wasn't the type of conversation that Philippe Alou was having with Kent Bottenfield.
You're watching ESPN Classic, Mile High Stadium, a tribute to some of the venue's most exciting moments here on ESPN Classic.
1-1 the count at the plate. Fly ball, shallow right field. Lansing goes out. Alou comes in, and he takes it. Bichette fakes scoring to third, remains at second, and we have 1 away.
Well, I'm sure Colorado a little disappointed that he did not advance that runner to third base with less than 2 outs. Here you see the crowd, and it's a beauty, let me tell you.
This will be a new opening day record in the majors.
It's also a 5-helicopter game.
Yes, it is. Here's Charlie Hayes, the third baseman. And he takes a cut, and he misses the strike 1.
Yeah, Charlie saw how well Young's ball traveled out of here, so it looked like he was trying to go for the distance, too. I asked Dale Murphy before the game, I said, Murph, you know, you're a guy 200 shy of 400. Can you tell, is there a difference? Does the ball carry a little bit more?
Here's the pitch. And this does carry, but it is foul. Woo! It's up there.
He told me, Charlie, he said, you know, he said, I haven't really hit the ball that well in the last couple of days, but I've watched our pitchers hit, and they were peppering the 400-foot wall in right center field. So, yes, the ball does carry.
That one statement, when I watch the pitchers hit, you know it's carrying. Bichette, the runner at second. 1 away. No balls, 2 strikes to count to Charlie Hayes.
Sometimes you have to be careful, though, Charlie, if you're a power hitter, that you don't try to do too much. In other words, Charlie Hayes in a position here where he has seen how well the ball carries. You start taking that left shoulder, and you start pulling it out. Well, that means anything on the outside part of the plate, you can't reach.
This one is fouled away. And the count holds at 1 ball, 2 strikes to Charlie Hayes. We're in the bottom of the first inning with 1 away, and the Rockies are out in front of the Expos by a score of 2-0. Here's the pitch, and it's inside. Count evens at 2-2.
Good idea by Bottenfield, trying to work Charlie Hayes on the inside part of the plate.
Sun breaking through the clouds. Here's the pitch. This one is deep left field, mile high, and it's out of here. Two-run home run, Charlie Hayes. And the Rockies rule 4-0.
Let's check out the location. That's what a hanging breaking ball looks like. And when it comes up there, it's got a big sign on it that says, hit me and hit me far. And that's what Charlie Hayes did.
And here's the left fielder, Gerald Clark. And Bottenfield misses for ball one.
And people are going to say, well, look at that. Another one where the altitude really helped it get out of here. Not so. That was gone in every park in the league.
So Eric Young with a solo home run. Charlie Hayes with a 2-run home run. Alex Cole scoring with Bichette getting the RBI. This one is lined to left field. And it is off of the wall. And Clark heads for second.
And Charlie, what's interesting is all of this has happened so fast, the bullpen is still quiet. Gerald Clark, he comes up with his first hit of the season, and this is a fastball belt high.
And now we'll have some stirring in the bullpen. And Mike Gardner is up. Still only one away. 4 runs in the bottom of the first. And Joe Girardi bounces one to the shortstop. And they barely get him. Woo. Cordero throwing out Girardi. And there is Mike Gardner loosening up in the bullpen for the Expos. 2 away, and here's the shortstop, Freddie Benavidez. Gerald Clark with that double is the board at second. And the Rockies are out in front 4-0. So far in the inning, 3 stolen bases, 2 home runs, and a total of 4 hits, a single and a double, the other 2.
Opportunity right there, Charlie, to see a little bit of Will Cordero and his abilities at shortstop. What a fine play.
1-1 pitch. Strike 2.
I mean, you never know about certain plays. You can always look back at one particular defensive play. That play that Cordero made may have kept Bottenfield in the game.
At 1 ball and 2 strikes to Freddie Benavidez. Freddie still looking for his first hit of the season. But the Rockies with the bottom of the first inning that they could only dream about. Here's the pitch. It's in the dirt. And Clark moves to third. Charlie Hayes' home run was measured at 390 feet.
There you see Laker trying to keep it within the area. He recovers, and Gerald Clark ahead of the throw.
And Benavidez is caught looking. After 1 complete, the Rockies lead at 4-0.
You're watching ESPN Classic, Mile High Stadium, a tribute to some of the venue's most exciting moments here on ESPN Classic.
Now the second hit of the season for Eric Young. The first hit here at Mile High Stadium for the history of this franchise. And where do you think it goes? It goes right over the left center field fence. There you see Vanderwall. He's chasing it. So is Marquise Grissom. And the Rockies at that point led 1-0. And the curtain call for Eric Young. Something you dream about. I had those dreams all the time. It just never happened.
Well, they happened once.
Well, yeah, but, you know, a full house like this is tremendous for Eric Young.
And it was on a full count.
You know, he was the only guy involved in the first inning where he had 3-4-3 putouts, and then he leads off the inning by stroking one over the fence. And he's not a guy that's going to hit a lot of home runs, but he sure picked the right spot to hit his first.
He's been busy today.
Oh.
All right, here's the shortstop, Will Cordero, to lead off the top of the second inning for the Expos. Rockies out in front by a score of 4-0. 4 runs on 4 hits. The Expos, no runs on 2 hits. Here's the pick.
I think the first inning is the best example of what can happen to you in this ballpark if you do not keep the ball down. Now, Bryn Smith did, and he got 3 ground outs. Bottenfield did not. A lot of balls hit in the air, and you can see what happens.
2 balls, no strikes to count to Cordero. Here's the pitch. High fly ball, right field. Bichette circles back and makes the play.
Now, that ball carried well, too, but you got a little breeze, which is heading down that direction.
Since 1990, Coors has been committed to solving the problem of illiteracy. So join Coors Literacy Pass It On program to share in our commitment. Call the Coors Literacy Hotline at 1-800-626-4601. Here's the catcher, Tim Laker. And he looks at a breaking ball that misses. 1 ball, no strikes to count to Laker. Be an error on Freddie, and Laker is aboard.
Yeah, Freddie with the backhand. The ball hit him on the heel of the glove. Came up a little bit, and then he still had a shot if he could have come up with it clean the second time, and he did not. The infield grass looks like it's nice and plush and soft. It is. However, it's still very fast. Don Zimmer, before the game, who was hitting fungo, said, watch how this ball takes off when it hits the grass, and it really did.
Here's the first baseman, Arquisian Franco. Jim Laker, the runner at first. 1 away. Top of the second inning. Bichette goes back in right and makes the play. The grass a little bit spotty in right field, but Bichette said he watched the bounces yesterday. Took some balls. They had some grass that died on them. They couldn't get the turf in to grow again in time for the opener, but he said it's not that bad. Here's the pitcher, Kent Bottenfield. When the Expos, as an expansion team, had their opener in Parc de Jarry, the infield, the skin part of the infield, bounced up and down because of all the rain that they had had. It was very mushy. So what happened is both managers talked to all the players, and so nobody mentioned it to the press, but it was almost a giveaway. A runner on first would take his lead. He'd move way in on the grass. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Two balls, no strikes to count to Bottenfield. We're in the top of the second inning. Mile High Stadium, Denver, Colorado. Ball strike.
Charlie, we were told, and in the press guide, that Bottenfield was a switch hitter, but he's not hitting left-handed against the pitcher, Bryn Smith, who is right-handed. Maybe Bottenfield likes that short porch.
Yes, he may like that. Hayes will charge it, and Charlie does not make the play. Here's another look.
Well, I think this is an infield hit. Sometimes you're better off not slowing the ball down. And if Bryn Smith would have let the ball go, it would have been an easier play for Charlie Hayes or Benavides. But Charlie's got a barehanded throw on the run. And the only thing I can think of is that Galarraga did not hang on to it. You can see the ball laying right there.
It is an infield hit. Lakers a runner at second. Button fields at first. And Mike Lansing, who is 0 for 1 in the ball game, is the batter. The breaking ball is outside. Lansing is replacing DeShields because DeShields is out with the chickenpox. Lansing is from Rawlins, Wyoming. And he nails one deep in the power alley. And Alex Cole makes the play. We're in the middle of the second, and the Rockies lead 4-0.
You're watching ESPN Classic, Mile High Stadium, a tribute to some of the venue's most exciting moments here on ESPN Classic.
We move to the bottom of the second inning, and Bryn Smith will lead it off for the Colorado Rockies. The Rockies out in front by a score of 4-0. After that disastrous outing against the Minnesota Twins, I talked to Bryn after the ball game, and he said one of the great things about the game of baseball is you immediately have to put this kind of an outing behind you because you're going to pitch again in 4 or 5 days. He said it's even better if you're a hitter. You can go 0 for 4 and you come back the next day. He said, but I've learned that I can put it out of my mind in 30 minutes. No, he said 2 hours. But 2 hours, he said, that's the max.
Well, he did everything he could that day in Minnesota to try to figure out how to get the ball down.
He said he went through 17 checkpoints to get the ball down, and he never could get it down.
And the harder he tried, the harder they hit the ball.
Yes, they did. Here's the pitch from Button. And he misses for ball 1.
You always have to remember that Bryn Smith did not have the same amount of spring training time as the rest of the guys on the staff.
2-0.
You know, you can cram certain things, but getting into pitching shape is not something that you can cram to do. You just have to take your 4th or 5th day, throw.
Off of the glove of the pitcher, picked up by Lansing, and they throw him out. I thought for a moment we might have the same situation that we saw in the last half inning.
You're watching ESPN Classic, Mile High Stadium, a tribute to some of the venue's most exciting moments here on ESPN Classic.
One away, top of the order, Eric Young, who led off the bottom of the first with that solo home run. He gets the ovation. And it's low and away for ball 1. Eric Young coming out of the Dodgers organization. Last year at Albuquerque, he hit .337 and had just 3 home runs at Albuquerque. Here's the pitch. So like you said, he's not known for the long ball. But he will forever in Rocky history be known.
Yeah, he picked
for the home run.
Picked a great.
Oh, yeah. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Strike call.
I always like to see a hitter who knows what type of player that he is. Here's Eric Young. He hits a home run in the first inning. And what does he do here in the second? He tries to bunt his way on. That's his game.
3 balls, 1 strike the count. The lights have been turned on here at Mile High Stadium. It's 3:46 in the afternoon. And he walks it. That is the second walk that Bottenfield has given up. And remember, he walked Alex Cole in the bottom of the first, who immediately stole second and then third. So you got to watch Eric Young. He may do the same thing. And we will have Mike Gardner up again in the bullpen. Here's the throw to first. So the manager of the Expos, Felipe Alou, may not wait much longer for Bottenfield to get his pitching going. Young is leading, and now he's creeping back to first. I love that. Like if I sneak back, you won't know I'm there. First he was leaning towards second, and then he was leaning back to first. One away. And he's back in. Now watch this. He leans, now he leans back. Quietly.
You still got to be fast to act like that.
Oh yes, you got to have that explosion to know you get away with it.
Some big old heavy guy at first could never do that.
He starts to creep back, they'll throw him out.
And you can hear him creep back.
Yes. The pitch to call. Strike call. Squared as if he wanted to bunt. Bollig came down from third. And it's strike one.
You know, we were talking, Charlie, before the game how the Giants were ready for a Bottenfield.
Yes.
And what we meant by that was is they had seen Doc Gooden at Shea Stadium, followed by Brett Saberhagen. Take nothing away from Kent Bottenfield, but they were ready to face someone who hadn't won a Cy Young.
That's right. The Rockies open the season facing 2 Cy Young awards. And both of them throwing very well for early in the season. I mean, mid-season form.
Oh, they're both looking like they're going to try to share the award.
That's right. They split it up. Look to first. Young. Scooting back. Oh, one pitch out. Not good.
The one thing guys like Gooden and Saberhagen can do is not only do they beat you, but if they are on like they were, they can actually make your club look like a club that's not a very good hitting club, and that's what happened.
Oh yeah, they make you look bad. But when they're on, they can make any club look bad.
That's right, and unfortunately for the Rockies, an expansion team, I'm sure people started to say, well, there you go, they're starting to play like an expansion team.
1 ball, 1 strike the count to Alex Coe. 1 away. Another pitch out, he's not going. 2 balls, 1 strike the count.
Now here's Bottenfield, who has just walked Eric Young, and 2 pitch outs have been called, so not on his accord is he behind 2-1.
In the hole to right field. Young heads for third. Here's the throw. He's on third. The ball gets away. He heads for home. He shides. He scores. It's a 5-0 ball game.
Young dodges the base hit by Alex Cole, and now third base is his goal. But once he sees the ball get away, tries to catch the helmet, watches the ball go by Zimmer, and he is off to the races. Eric Young has been up twice in this game, and he has scored 2 runs.
And Alex Coe with the base hit ends up at second on the throw to third. And here's Dante Bichette. Bichette with a single and RBI, and he has scored a run. And the Rockies are out in front by a score of 5-0. 1 away, bottom of the second inning. A pop-up. Cianfrocco, the first baseman, makes the play. So now with 2 away, the hitter will be Andres Galarraga. Big Cat is 0 for 1 in the ball game with a fly ball to Moises Alou in right field. And you'll notice he starts with that open stance, but then he will stride toward the pitcher and squares it up and fouls it back.
That's right. He has to. Otherwise, there's no way Galarraga could cover middle half of the plate in a way. And it's something that he and Don Baylor worked at when both Baylor and Galarraga were in St. Louis last year.
One ball, one strike to count to Andres. This one's foul back for a souvenir. Oh, what a great crowd we have here today. This may be one of the outstanding views in sports to look out today here at Mile High Stadium. More than 80,000. And this one's foul back. One ball, two strikes to count to Galarraga.
Has to be the largest bleacher section I've ever seen, Charlie.
There is a floating bleacher section out in center field. It looked like they filled it 4 blocks away and rolled it in. Yeah, there they are.
They're a little off angle.
But they're glad to be here. They're part of history.
They haven't missed a thing, have they?
No. Right field, Alou goes back and makes the play. In the bottom of the second, the Rockies add one more, and after 2 are complete, the Rockies lead it 5-0.
You're watching ESPN Classic Mile High Stadium, a tribute to some of the venue's most exciting moments here on ESPN Classic.
Bottom of the 4th inning, 0-4-3 for the Expos. For the Rockies, 5-6-1. Bottenfield got knocked around early as he allowed 4 runs in the first inning, a couple of home runs, Eric Young and Charlie Hayes. And for the Rockies, it'll be the same 3 hitters that started it off in the first to do the same here in the 4th. Young, Cole, and Bichette. Eric Young has scored 2 runs, a solo home run. He's also walked. Chops this one foul, and guess who's back? Jerry Royster. Welcome back, Jerry. Bottenfield with the 0-1 pitch, and Young bluffs a bunt that's outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. As Charlie mentioned, good size, 6'3", 225, 24 years old. There's a good curveball, and that's a strike, and it's 1-2. Some of the words to describe Bottenfield: nothing fancy, a workhorse type pitcher. On the ground, and Bullock can't come up with it. So Frank Bullock, a game that he'd like to forget about defensively at third. Young pulls it, Bullock backhands it, and they may give Young a base hit on that, although it should be an error on Bullock.
They're going to give him the base hit. I don't know, maybe they feel sorry.
Yeah, look, my experience is...
Frank keeps saying, not anymore.
My experiences are that official scorers do not feel sorry for people.
That's true.
So a base hit for Eric Young, and Young will take it. He's leaning. He does not go, and Alex Cole with the bunt. Bullock bare hands in, and his throw goes down the line. Over to third goes Young. To second is Alex Cole, and that'll be another error on Bullock. It should be a bunt base hit, and then the throw that gets away, the error, allowing Cole to go to second and Young to third. And of course, you can back up all you want, but it's not going to matter. Went down there where the stands jet out. There's the throw. Well, it should be a base hit all the way. So Dante Bichette will step up to the plate with runners at second and third and nobody out. Swing and a miss on the breaking ball.
And Mike Gardner is up again in the bullpen for the Expos. Official score is going to rule it a sacrifice and an error.
The 0-1 pitch. Bichette pokes it to right field. Coming in is Alou. He makes the catch. Tagging is Young. He is going to score. To throw to third is not in time. It'll be a sacrifice fly for Dante Bichette. So Bichette likes to go the other way. Comes up with the sacrifice fly. And now with a man on third and one out, it's Galarraga with the infield playing in. And he base hit left field. It is now 7-0. Galarraga pokes one past the drawn-in infield. Thus far, an offensive day for the Colorado Rockies as Galarraga picks up his first hit in the ball game.
And look at the, you can't quite see it there, but as the ball went by the third baseman, Frank Bollig, he was hanging his head in it. Come on, guys, they can hit to the other side.
Stay away from me.
Stay away.
Charlie Hayes is 2 for 2. And that just misses. Hayes with a 2-run home run in the first inning. He singled in the third. Rockies leading 7-0. Hayes to the left side. Cordero goes the short way. Will they turn it? They do. Does it look like Charlie Hayes stumbled and he pulled something coming out of the batter's box?
With Hayes is limping as he crosses the bag. We'll take another look at that.
We'll take a look at it after the break. Rockies leading 7-0.
You're watching ESPN Classic, Mile High Stadium, a tribute to some of the venue's most exciting moments here on ESPN Classic.
Gerald Clark takes the strike to lead it off here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Clark, Girardi, and Benavidez. Mike Gardner is the new pitcher. And for Gardner, this is his second appearance this year. See his numbers last year in Boston, 4-10 with a high earned run average. And that's outside. 2 balls and 1 strike.
And he was scheduled to start in Sunday's ball game.
I believe he was, which means all the information that we have is wrong. 2-1 pitch is outside, 3 balls and 1 strike. Gardner has pitched 2/3 of an inning this year, and he's been perfect. Clark back up the middle into center field, a base hit. Gerald Clark is now 2 for 3. You remember Clark also lined one right back at Bottenfield. So So Joe Girardi, who is 0 for 2, he's grounded out and reached on an error. He steps up to the plate. Girardi takes a curveball that misses 1-0. Girardi is looking for his first base hit this year. He's now 0 for 8. And he's got it. And it is in the alley. And here comes Gerald Clark, and they're going to hold him up. Girardi with a double. Runners at second and third with nobody out. And the hitter will be Benavides.
You're watching ESPN Classic, Mile High Stadium, a tribute to some of the venue's most exciting moments here on ESPN Classic.
Benavides has struck out, and he's reached on an error. And there's a curveball that is in there for a strike.
Bank One Colorado is proud to be the official bank of the Colorado Rockies. Bank One, whatever it takes, member FDIC.
Benavides, like Girardi, is hitless thus far this year. And that misses. 1 ball and 1 strike. Infield is playing in with the Rockies leading 7-0. Felipe Alou wants to cut off every run that he can. They cannot afford to be down by more than what they are already. The 1-1 pitch. Benavides grounds it foul. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And with the infield in, you almost hate to be the third baseman, Frank Bullock, because the ball constantly seems to find him. 3 errors in the ball.
Yeah, Bullock.
And no place to hide.
You're right, in front of 80,000 plus. He's not had one of those days you'd like to write home about. Benavides grounds it. It gets into left field. Clark scores. To third goes Girardi, and it's 8-0. So Benavides is on the board. You like to take advantage of that infield when they're playing in. And it turns a 250 hitter into a 400 hitter. You see Cordero as he dives for it. If he's playing back, Benavides is going to be out. Well, that'll bring to the plate Bryn Smith. And remember, Bryn Smith can do one or two things. He could be swinging away or trying to sacrifice that guy from first to second. And that's what it looks like he's going to do, and he takes a strike. Benavides aboard at first base. He just picked up his first hit and his first RBI. And Bryn Smith trying to sacrifice him to second. And he bunts a foul. And quickly it's 0-2. But one of the things that managers like to be able to see their pitchers do, and that's bunt. It hasn't happened in this particular at-bat for Bryn Smith, but he is a good bunter.
Will he go ahead here? An 0-2 pitch to bunt.
I think he's going to let him swing away. And then again, he may say, it's your job to get it down. Get it down. I don't care if you have 2 strikes on you or not.
But also, it doesn't wear him out.
So that'll be a strikeout. And the first for Mike Gardner.
But it does conserve the energy of Bryn Smith.
Yes, it does. He does not have to hustle down the line. And here's Eric Young. And there's a breaking ball that misses 1-0. Eric Young got it all going for the Rockies in the bottom of the first inning with a solo home run in left center field. He has scored 3 times. He's been on base all 3 times. And he takes a strike. He has walked and he is singled. He is 2 for 2. breaking ball, and it is foul. Just foul, says Mark Hirschbeck, third base umpire. So Benavides back to first, and back to third is Girardi. On deck is Alex Cole. Inside, Eric Young snaps back, and now it's 2-2. Pitch. Base hit center field, and here comes Girardi. So a guy straightens you up. The best way to come back at him is single up the middle, and that's what Eric Young did. Young has now been on base 4 times, and he picks up his second RBI. So a perfect script thus far.
Oh, yeah.
Alex Cole pitches outside. 1-0. Alex Cole in the first inning walked, stole 2 bases, and scored. Single in the second, and he reached on a sacrifice in the 4th. That's outside, and it's 2 balls and no strike.
And I'm not sure that anybody in the Rockies organization, from Jerry McMorris at the top all the way down, dreamed this day could be like this so far.
What a great script. And that's grounded foul. 2 balls and 1 strike to Alex Cole. Haven't received the official attendance. When we hear it, you will hear it. The 2-1 pitch to Alex Cole is down low, 3 balls and 1 strike. To the plate. Alex Cole, line drive right at Cordero. He will step on the bag, and that'll do it. The Rockies do come up with a couple of runs here in the 5th inning. We've played 5 from Mile High. The Rockies 9. The Expos nothing.
You're watching ESPN Classic, Mile High Stadium, a tribute to some of the venue's most exciting moments here on ESPN Classic.
Here in the bottom of the 7th, Darrell Boston will be batting for Smith. And that means that Steve Reed will be coming in the next half inning. On the mound is Bruce Walton, and he becomes the 3rd pitcher of the afternoon for the Montreal Expos. An uninvited guest being escorted from the field. That's the reason for the delay, and it's not worth any airtime. The new Rocky Mountain News has news to share now with 4 colorful big league sections every day, still in the easy-to-read format that you like so well. Darrell Boston. And he looks at a call strike.
Well, anytime you have a veteran outfielder like Darrell Boston, you can be sure that he would like to have more playing time. Baylor will do whatever he can to get Darrell Boston some at-bats. But remember, now with Dale Murphy, here are a couple of guys that are going to try to get some at-bats, and it's going to be hard to do for Baylor.
Here's the 0-2 pitch, and it's inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes, he counts to Darrell Boston. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning in the home opener for the Colorado Rockies. The Rockies lead at 9-0. Here's the pitch. He lines it up the middle for a base hit. ovation for Eric Young. What a day he has had. He opens the bottom of the first with a solo home run. On and a walk, scores in the second. A base hit in the fourth, and he scores. And a single and a second RBI, that was in the fifth. Here's the pitch. And he does it again. He finds the hole. He is 4 for 4. And Boston moves down to second.
Now, sometimes hitting can be so easy. And then you have to look back at the 2 games in New York when it was so difficult. But for Eric Young, right now, he'd like to get up 3 or 4 more times.
Oh, yeah. He doesn't care who they are. And Alex Cole looks at a call strike. In fact, this is the kind of a ball game that Eric Young would like to be on the road. He might get an extra at-bat. He might get the hit in the ninth. And right now, of course, it doesn't look like the Rockies will come up in it. This one is lined to right field. Alou is there and makes the play. And we have one away. And the ovation is for Dale Murphy. This is his official welcome to the Colorado Rockies by the fans here in Mile High Stadium. And what a class man he is. A standing O. And the breaking pitch by Walden is away. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning with 1 out. And a 1-0 count to Dale Murphy. And it's away.
In this particular spot, Charlie, I think the fans here at Mile High want to see Dale Murphy swing the bat. They do not want to see him walk.
Footnote, 2 home runs away from the 400 mark. Strike call.
And I agree with the fans.
Oh, yes.
I mean, Dale Murphy is one of those players where you come out to the park to see him swing. You don't come out to the park to see him leave his bat on his shoulder.
And Boston will score. It's 10-0. And Dale Murphy has the RBI. And what a sweet swing this man has.
Boy, it really is. He just hits it right past Cordero. And that's the classic swing we've enjoyed watching over the years.
You're watching ESPN Classic Mile High Stadium, a tribute to some of the venue's most exciting moments here on ESPN Classic.
So now with 1 away, a run in the bottom of the 7th. 10 runs on 17 hits. Ironically, that matches the number on the uniform of David Need, who starts tomorrow. And like you mentioned earlier, he's got to be saying, save a few for me.
Put them in the bank.
Andres Galarraga. 0-1 the count to the big cat. And Walden comes high and inside. Eric Young is the runner at second. And Dale Murphy is aboard at first.
Felipe trying to figure out how to stop the bleeding. Boy, what a tremendous player he was.
And time is called.
I remember as a kid watching him with the Milwaukee Braves. And, of course, he had the pleasure of, you mentioned earlier, playing with his two brothers on the same team. Jesus Alou and Matty Alou.
1963 with the Giants. Strike two. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. And it's fouled away.
Now Bullock's starting to think maybe they've forgotten about him at third. You know, I don't want to sound like I'm poking fun of the young kid. He's going to have a terrific career in front of him. And it goes back to what we said before. You just got to forget about it, have a short memory. I guess it's like a defensive back in football. You got to forget it. I know what you're going through, kid, because I've been there.
Base hit down the line. And Eric Young will score. And it is 11-0. Galarraga, his 3rd single of the afternoon and his 2nd RBI.
And this is a Q job right off the end, the old Q stick. You see those big, powerful right-handed hitters. First basemen don't usually play on the line for guys like that. And because of that, Galarraga just snuck one inside the bag.
And here is Jim Tatum. And it's strike one. Tatum is 0 for 1 in the ballgame. The runners at the corners. Dale Murphy is at third, and over at first is Andres Galarraga. And Tatum is the hitter. And don't forget, Domino's and the Colorado Rockies have teamed up to offer you a Rockies pizza special for only $9.99. So give Domino's a call, but to ask for your Rockies special. Remember the price, only $9.99. And a portion of all of the money will be donated from each sale to the Rockies Youth Foundation. Fly ball, right field with 1 away. Alou has it. And Murphy is out. As Tim Spear, the catcher, holds on to the ball. After 7, the Rockies lead 11-0.
You're watching ESPN Classic, Mile High Stadium, a tribute to some of the venue's most exciting moments here on ESPN Classic.
We move to the top of the 8th inning. The Rockies have 11 runs on 18 hits in an error. The Expos have been shut out on 6 hits, and they have 4 errors, 3 of them by the third baseman, Frank Bowler. Darrell Boston stays in the ballgame. He goes to center field, and Alex Cole will come out. And Willie Blair is now on the mound for the Colorado Rockies.
You see what Blair did in Tucson in spring training. 1 appearance, 1 inning, 2 strikeouts for Willie Blair. And he did that in New York on Wednesday afternoon.
And he will face Moises Alou. And he throws the first strike right by him. We thought the Rockies Fest was held Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, but in reality, they held it over.
Hey, maybe it'll
for today.
Spill into the whole weekend. You know, let's hope so.
Deep left field. Clark goes back at the warning track and makes the play. And we have 1 away. And that'll bring up the center fielder, Marquise Grissom. Visit Chrysler's minivan store for remarkable savings on Plymouth Voyager, Grand Voyager, and Chrysler's Town and Country. Chrysler's premier minivans on sale during Chrysler's National Minivan Sale going on right now. Here's the pick. And it's a call strike. Willie Blair in relief of Bryn Smith, who went 7, gave up 6 hits and no runs. And the 1-1. And this one is fouled back. Look out. Right past our shoulder. You notice. We got it. Sorry.
We got it, and they want it. Going out.
Here you go. Yo! Out the window. You notice how, with the great hands, that I ducked immediately.
We were taught to use both.
Base hit.
Now, Marquise Grissom, who did something there that a lot of base runners do. They hit that spot right in front of the bag to make a turn, and when you do that, a lot of times that plant leg, watch this plant right here, it went right out from under him, and he ended up sprawling between first and second. Of course, you always go back and look at the ground to make sure that the fans know you didn't do that on your own.
That's right, yes. There was a big hole there, and I stepped in.
Veterans move.
Here is Frank Bullock. And it's outside.
We were talking about how the ball will find that guy that is struggling a little bit, and I noticed that one whizzed right by you.
Finding me. We should have kept it for a souvenir. We shouldn't have given that one away. Oh, yes, we should. Fans deserve it. Double play. We're in the middle of the 8th, and the Rockies lead it 11-0.
You're watching ESPN Classic, Mile High Stadium, a tribute to some of the venue's most exciting moments here on ESPN Classic.
We come now to the bottom of the 8th inning, and Gerald Clark, the left fielder, will lead it off. 3 for 4 in the ball game with a double and a pair of singles.
That's Frazier. He stays in the game and plays first base.
And he replaces Cian Franco at first. Here's the pitch. And Clark looks at a call strike. Gerald scored in the bottom of the 5th. And Bullock makes the play. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Colorado Rockies and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of the Colorado Rockies. And here is the catcher, Joe Girardi. A double in the 5th, and he has scored. In fact, of the starting 8 position players, only Galarraga, who has 3 singles and a pair of RBIs, and Benavides, who has a single and an RBI, have not scored. And the 1-0 pitch. Now, this is how we did it today, Skipper.
Baylor looking at his lineup card to see who is in the game and who has played thus far. And Don Baylor, of course, is his right-hand man in the dugout. Make that Don Zimmer, and those two will be in conversation a lot this year.
Yes. 2-2. And we have 2 down.
Well, we've seen some line drives today. Clark lined one. And here's Girardi. Now that is the guy that is just trying to protect his face, Walton.
And the hitter is Vinny Castillo. Pick up your Coca-Cola inaugural Rockies 8-ounce collector's bottle at your favorite retailer today and commemorate the Rockies' first season with Coca-Cola. And it's outside.
Well, this for Vinny Castillo. This is his first at bat of the 1993 season.
And he fouls it off. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning with 2 away. And a 1-ball, 2-strike count on Castillo. Lansing scoops it up and throws him out. So we have 3 up and 3 down. After 8 are complete, the Rockies lead it 11-0.
You're watching ESPN Classic, Mile High Stadium, a tribute to some of the venue's most exciting moments here on ESPN Classic.
We come to the top of the 9th inning, and Steve Reed replaces Willie Blair.
And for Steve Reed, Charlie, he is appearing in his first game of the 93 season. Reed, in spring training, was 1-0 with a 5.40 ERA. He pitched in 10 games, 13 strikeouts in 13 and a third innings. So Steve Reed, guy who likes to throw sidearm, submarine style, he'll do just about anything on the mound, angle-wise, to throw that hitter off.
And he should face John Vanderwall, Will Cordero, and the catcher, Tim Spear. And here is Vanderwall. And that is a wicked-looking pitch when he comes low, right side, submarine ball 1. Vanderwall is 0 for 3 in the ballgame. And he has his first hit. In the power alley, he can go for 2. And they'll hold him there. So Steve Reed is greeted by Vanderwall's double. And that'll bring up the shortstop, Will Cordero, who, like Vanderwall, prior to his at-bat, he is 0 for 3. He's flied out, bounced out twice. Don't forget to be with us tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock. Our next television game will also be on the air Sunday afternoon at 1, and then our first night telecast Monday night at 7 against the New York Mets. Of course, tomorrow and Sunday against these same Montreal Expos. The beginning of the historic opening weekend for the Colorado Rockies, and what a beginning it is. 0-2 the count.
Steve Reed is, his history indicates to us that against left-handers he will have some trouble. Against right-handers he can just be vicious on them. He's just tough.
Yes, he is.
That ball moves into those left-handed hitters, and the reason it's so difficult for right-handed hitters is the ball is moving away from them, especially a slider which has that frisbee type action.
And it's a base hit up the middle, and they're going to hold the runner. Galarraga cuts it out. And so the Expos now with runners on the corners. And here is the catcher, Tim Spear. The Rockies would like to hold on to the opening day shutout. And Reed comes inside for ball one. Fly ball left field. Darrell Boston, this should score the run. And it's an 11-1 ball game. And the boos are for the shutout that just went away. So Spear gets the sacrifice fly in the RBI. One away, and the throw into second, holding Cordero at first. And Darren Fletcher is the hitter. And a count of a ball and a strike to Fletcher. Murphy goes back and makes the play at the track. As Fletcher lines deep to Dale Murphy and right.
And you think he's a happy man, Charlie? Gary McMorris.
Yes.
The man in charge.
And now just one away from the first victory in the history of the Colorado Rockies. And Lou Frazier is the hitter. He is 0 for 1 in the ballgame. Fouled off.
I am amazed, Charlie, that this ballpark is still full.
And you can feel the goosebumps. Almost everybody standing. The attendance today, 80,227. Here's the pitch, and it's inside.
You almost get that feeling that their attitude is, we have waited this long. We want to see it all.
Yes. Outside. 3-1. So Steve Reed is prolonging the inevitable moment. And the pitch to Frazier. And it's outside. And he walks it. And that is the first walk given up by the Rockies today. And that will bring up Mike Lansing.
So Donnie Baylor just wanting to settle down Steve Reed, say, listen, you know, we've got this one in our back pocket. Now, you just make sure that you don't lose all kinds of concentration. You know, you're feeling good about yourself. Now, let's go. Let's get it over with.
It's outside. Two balls, one strike, the count to Lansing. The Expos with 2 runners aboard. This one is deep and may carry out of here. And it does. So Mike Lansing from Casper, Wyoming hits the 3-run home run. And it's an 11-4 ball game.
Well, the fans just threw the ball back out on the field. And Lansing will be happy about that because he'll get to take it home. And this is Jerry McMorris watching as this ball left the park.
And it was well tagged by Lansing, no question about it. And here's Moises Alou. He is 2 for 4 with a triple and a single. Dale Murphy, right field, retires this side. The time, 5:48 on a Friday afternoon in Denver. That one moment in time for the Colorado Rockies. Their first victory as they defeat the Montreal Expos 11-4.
You're watching ESPN Classic.